Hi, everyone. Welcome to SHP Case Studies. Today we have, just like every campaign, a unique campaign today because each one seems to have its own story, its own background, and essentially its own problems and solutions that we have to work through. So, this client here was one that we worked with for 3 years up until the pandemic and had very, very interesting results that I will say, interesting results, but was enough to sustain the relationship for 3 years until COVID and some major changes happened. So I want to go through with you this particular marketing service that we worked with, who really did a lot of outreach to um, a lot of many different types of companies, but primarily Fortune 500. And I'll get into that, what type here shortly. But you see, it's a very unique and interesting campaign because of um, the the performance. Okay, so you can see the appointment setting rate was rather low as an average. The lead hitting rate was within potential reason, but why was this one that sustained itself? Because of the quality of leads we're able to generate and the value of them when we did set those leads up. So let's see how we got there and what this project was all about. And this was the first and last type of business like this that we worked with. Now it says marketing services, but what's interesting is that they have a very specific type of offering, which is to develop and manage consumer promotions for different types of companies. So, major car manufacturers such as BMW or Honda or Mercedes, and they would help manage and run their promotions, rebates, and spiffs. And this was something that uh, was the first time we ran with this, and it was very much an account-based approach. We didn't have thousands and thousands of leads. We had hundreds of leads or contacts that we would reach out to on a cycle and rhythm throughout the course of a year, dozens of times, because of how targeted uh, our outreach was and the types of businesses that were needed for our client to grow. So the idea was to make calls on a sequence uh, through a 6 month period before we'd recycle and start it over again. So the way it would work is we would make calls 3 at a time to one business over the course of a month, 3 to 10 times. Excuse me. There was a lot of different touch points, but then with that contact, based upon what happened, if we didn't get in touch with them or didn't get us an answer, we would then cycle them back 6 months later. And we were able to generate leads and appointments that way because we would get the name out there, leave voicemails, send collateral. And then if we didn't hear anything, we'd come back and start over. And sometimes that would help because they may have saw us, they may have seen us, they just weren't ready at that time to answer, or weren't ready or didn't know enough about what the offering was. So again, the type of offering this was really had to do with ensuring that all of the management of the rebates and promotions and spiffs were effectively taken care of so that they were using money the right ways, staying compliant, and also saving on how to manage all that. A lot of times there's internal or different vendors that they use. So syncing it up with one vendor to manage it all, save costs, and allow them to be compliant with the way they spent money. So let's look at the script to get a sense of the idea of how we engage folks, all right, and how we were able to have some successful conversations. So the quick prop was, "Hi, my name's Ryan with Blank Marketing Services Company. We're a rebates and incentive program manager. We've helped and developed manage consumer promotions for brands such as Sig Sauer, General Motors, Canon, Apple. We've helped them ensure a customer branded experience, protection of their rebate investment, and increase loyalty and program results. How do you manage your rebate programs now?" So that was the quick prop and hone in. So if we look at the consultative conversation, we have a consultative conversation, which is more for folks who have time that we can have a conversation with. A no bull script is one that's more value and to the point. And the last one is a survey script. And this was a combination, I would say, between a consultative and a no bull. We had a little bit more uh, value in the offering, and then we opened it up with more of a discovery question. This hone in is a bit more of a discovery question than it is a true hone in. But based on the needs of this client, we decided to go this direction. I think it's really important to mention some of the accolades. I mean, if you've worked with those types of companies, General Motors, Canon, Apple, I mean, you're immediately going to perk some ears up and gives you a reputation that you can stand by, and others should listen. When we asked them how we manage the rebates, our client knew there's only a couple different ways, so we weren't going to get ourselves into opening a can of worms here like we can with other industries. So, who do you partner with? If they did manage with a vendor right now, if they don't have anyone outsourced, if they just manage it internally, this is something that we could open up the conversation to. And then we would give them a little bit more description on how things work. So while the value is in the quick prop, the how and the engineering and the process of it was in the calling prop. Asked them a couple discovery questions if it made sense, and then closed with offering a WebEx meeting to learn about the business and see if they could make a solution that would help them to get better results and save money and also streamline. So this is where the results were seemingly from our averages less than satisfying. Our averages state that, from 300,000 calls that we analyzed, we had a DM connect rate of about 2.72% on this campaign. Our average was over an 8%, over 30 different industries and 300,000 calls. So the ASR on the DM connection rate was a 9%. So when we did get a hold of someone, even though it was really low, we only got someone one every 50, 40, 50 calls on this. We were able to convert one in every 10 of those into appointment. So the appointment setting rate was low. It was one every 400 calls. But if you're getting, I remember setting appointments for Nintendo. I think we got one with BMW. I mean, these were massive accounts that turned into proposals and big opportunity for this client. But we also had a lead setting rate of 0.92. And a lot of times those lead sets, nurture, warms, they are really valuable because our client knows the sales cycle can be a year on some of these prospects. So getting, information out, people piquing their interest, brand awareness did help this campaign to generate results down the road. So if you look at the graph, you'll see that it was, a slight increase over time with everything, but it was a difficult campaign. But knowing that it was difficult, and knowing that the industries that we're going after were sometimes hard to chase down, the results that we did get, made big impacts during the time that they were with us. So knowing your market and knowing some of these metrics can give you confidence and give you the insight needed to make things continue forward, because not every industry is the same. A 0.25 in this industry could be successful, where another industry that would be atrocious, right? And so this is what we're trying to accomplish here, is knowing which industries need which type of results to be sustainable. And this is a perfect example of that. So if you have comments, please leave them below. If this is something that you have questions about, we can point you in the right direction. We'd be happy to talk. Or if you need cold calling for your business to help replace, or if you need experts in generating leads and appointments through cold calling of the 21st century, reach out to us. We're more than happy to talk. Are you a company that wants to grow their sales pipeline but don't know how to do it outside of cold email, inbound, and normal channels? Consider SHP. We provide cold call appointment setting and sales development services to generate leads and appointments outbound for your sales pipeline, so you can have control over your sales destiny. Give us a call at the number provided, or reach out to us in any way. We're happy to chat with you about how we can cold call and generate leads so that you don't have to. Be excited to do the work for you, and can't wait to hear from you.